Hey folks, Harley here. Wanting to take you through a trip catfishing. You want to take up catfishing? Well, you better get yourself ready because there's some things to do before you can go catfishing. You can't just grab a rod and reel and go out on the bank and grab some worms. You can if you want to catch little tiny dinks, but we don't go after little tiny dinks. We go after the bigger cats. So I'm going to walk you through the process here and give you an idea of what you're in for if you want to go serious catfishing. I don't want to discourage you, but I don't want to give you any wrong ideas about what you need to do. By no means, this is my disclaimer, by no means am I a professional catfisherman, am I a very successful catfisherman, or an authority on the subject. It's just me showing you how we get it done. Like I mentioned earlier, you can't just go grab worms and chicken livers if you want to go after a little bitty catfish. That's the way I used to fish because I didn't know any better. But now I know better, and what have I got myself into? Stay tuned. We'll move along to part 1. This is part 1. Okay. Part 2. That was the introduction part. Okay. Part 2. Getting bait. Here we go. Getting bait. We could do this. I do have shad, I do have skipjack, but that's all frozen. Not the good stuff. Catfish, believe it or not, catfish like fresh bait. You've heard the stories that catfish will eat anything. If there was no other food source, maybe they would, especially channel cats. Channel cats, in my opinion, are like the carp of catfish. Channel cats will eat stink bait readily, cut up skunk, any number of things. But if you want to go after blue catfish and flathead catfish, then flathead catfish, they like live bait. They'll take cut bait. Blue cats, they'll take cut bait, but they like fresh, good stuff. So we go after good stuff now. All right, so here's what the deal is for going after bait. There's 2 or 3 different kind of baits you can use for the catfishing, the type that I do. Number 1, live bluegill. Flathead catfish love them. Other fish will take them, other catfish, and cut chunks. Also, you have skipjack herring, the member of the herring family. They're like sharks in freshwater. They're amazing fish. Maybe we'll get to show you one of those here in a little bit. And then thirdly, one that's a nice go-to is moon eye. We're gonna rig up. Well, actually, I've spent the last hour searching for my little bitty stuff because we're gonna go after these guys. And I'll show you what I've done here. Here on this pole, you see we have a little tiny float right here. This float is only like 2 inches long, super light. Comes down to about a size 12 hook. That's a little teeny tiny rascal there, and we're going to. Oh, did I mention there's also a, where's my little weight? I smashed a weight on it. Well, I'll have to put me another little split shot on there. Put a little, probably 1/16 ounce or less split shot on here just to give it a little bit of weight because this little rig's tiny and you can't hardly throw it. And we're going to put mealworms on this to catch the moon eye. Secondly, we have this rig. These are just basic jigs. Green and white body, white and white, and then another white and white because skipjacks seem to like those. Not feeling real optimistic about it because it's kind of getting toward the middle of the day. Skipjack bite really well in the morning and then late in the evening. Sometimes you can get lucky with them and catch them up in the middle of the day. So we're going to try them, but we hope to get a mess of moon eye out here so we can get after this. So there's another hour getting ready. So let's do more things. We're going to head and get some. Going to get some bait for the catching bait for finally going fishing, and we're going to pick up the mealworms and then head to the dam and see about that. So I'll check you at the bait getting place. Oh, before we go, when you catch these bait, it's a good idea to get them on ice. And generally we'll make a slurry with ice, water, and then we'll put salt on it, lower the freezing point of it down, and it gets really, really super cold. I like to get these baits in that just as soon as I can after I catch them. So I'll spend more time getting my ice chest and ice ready now. Okay, and by the way, in celebration of the summer solstice, today is June 21st, longest day of the year, and it's going to be a hot one too. And if I didn't give myself enough of a challenge to go out and try to get some bait, I just waited till the middle of the day. So in celebration of this, here's what we're going to do. If you're watching this video, leave a comment that says I'd like to win, and I'll be choosing a winner at random from the comments for one of these official Team Fish caps. It's a wintertime hat. It's the doesn't have the thing in the back. It has a stretchy, nice little hats here. So we'll give it about 2 weeks. Let's call it July 4th. We'll do the drawing for that, and just leave a comment below. I'd like to win, and we'll hook you up with that. Now back to getting fish. Okay, so here's the brutal, honest truth. This bait getting business is tough. I went to my favorite little food mart on the way to the dam. They didn't have any mealworms. So I have to resort to the evil alternative. Stay tuned. Told you the struggle was real. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. What's going on here? No mealworms. Okay, no luck there. So, off to Petland. Petland, live mealworms. So we're gonna get busy now. So the struggle is over for now. The young lady standing on the other side of the camera named Tiffany that you can't see hooked me up, and she don't want to be on the video, so her loss. Okay, so to finish up that section, here's something interesting. I got my mealworms in Petland just now, and was talking with a girl at the counter, and she wanted to know what I was doing. I told her I was catfishing, getting bait, and she said, here's an interesting story. She said a woman came in the other day and wanted to buy a mouse, and she sold her a mouse, and she said, you got like a snake to feed or something? And she said, nope. The woman was going catfishing. Said she caught her biggest fish ever on a mouse, and I've never heard of that thing. I've been around a little bit, but I've never heard of using a mouse. I can imagine it maybe like for bass fishing or something, because bass will eat little baby ducks and anything that falls in the water. But catfishing with a mouse. Leave a comment below if you have ever heard of such a thing. We're getting there. Robert C. Byrd Dam. This is one of my favorite places in the world. It may not look like much, but I've had a lot of fun here. These are the locks. 8 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, those are the gates. I'm sorry. Locks are over on the other side. So there's that for you. And hey, they finally put this in. Yay, small pleasures. And it looks like the water's up more than I expected, which kind of sucks in a way, but we'll see what happens. All right, so here's what I was talking about a minute ago about getting a slurry is what I call it. I think that's the right word. I've got a 5-gallon bucket here.
about halfway full of water. And we'll add ice. Maybe a little bit more ice. Okay. So now, we'll add the daggone salt to it. And what the salt does is lowers the freezing point. So if you've ever made like homemade ice cream and you add salt to the mix and everything, what that does, that lowers the freezing point of the water. And this water will get super cold. Wow, that's cold already. So if I catch a fish, or a bait fish I should say, he's going right in there.
Picked up a skipjack and a hybrid on that cast, so there's a variety for you. These dudes go right into super cold water. At least one of them. This little dude goes back in the water. Thanks to the cameraman, I don't even know, I just met this dude fishing. What's your name?
Carl Perry.
Carl Perry. There's
Nice to
Carl.
meet you.
Hey, so apparently they're biting and we may get some bait in, so stay tuned. Carl's hooking me up. He's changed over to a sabiki rig, which is what I'm gonna have to do in a minute. You don't mind being on video, do you?
You're fine.
All right, cool. So, awesome, dude. Yeah, just let him lay. I'll grab him there.
Alrighty.
Skipjack, member of the herring family. These are river rockets is what I call them, man. They are awesome fish. They bite hard, they fight hard, and they are great catfish bait. So there we go. I'll be changing baits now. Here it goes into the slurry. And see ya. Hey, okay, been fishing for a little while. We had, I don't know, 4 or 5 skipjack earlier on. Hadn't caught them in a while, but it looks like we're finally about tuned in to the moon eye. Again, here's the rig I'm using. Little tiny weight, or a little tiny float up here. Down about a foot, I've got about an 1/8 ounce split shot, and then a tiny, like number 12 hook. See if you can see that there, number 12 hook. Got the moon eye hung up on there. And basically what we're doing is I'm just chunking out into this still water and just waiting for the bobber to go under. Pretty much like bluegill fishing. See if the bobber goes under. Let's throw it out again. And I didn't bring my GoPro mount today, so I apologize for the shaky footage we're going through here. Now you can see straight ahead there. Anyhow, give it another go here. Okay, see my weight out there. Looks like it's just gotta watch the weight. Sometimes they bite like monsters, and there we go. Other times they barely take it under. So in this case, there we go with one. All right. there. He's a nice one. And there you go. And as you can see, these guys are super hyper, super crazy. So there you go with your moon eye, and you can tell these are meat eaters, because if you look in their mouth there, you see that tongue. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is designed to grab a hold of unfortunate minnows and whatnot. But there you go. So we're catching them, and that's part of getting bait. Okay, and to kind of wrap things up for this video, gathered a bunch of bait yesterday. I got some skipjack and some moon eye. And those are all ready, and heading out this morning to go fishing. And just as I leave to go fishing, I like to pick up a couple shad, because you never know. They're down here in the bait tank, and we'll give them a go and see what happens. So that's what we do about getting bait for catfishing. It's a bit of a job. Actually, a lot of catfishermen do more fishing getting bait than bass fishermen, crappie fishermen, all those guys do catching fish. So we practice all the time. So there's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button right down there. Leave a comment. Let me know what's up. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.